One of the world's most important shipping routes, and it's blocked. A giant container ship ran aground in the Suez Canal after losing power. 50 ships a day normally pass through the canal, carrying 12% of the world's trade.
The Evergreen Ever Given, a behemoth of the seas, set sail from the bustling port of Shanghai on January 10, 2022. As it embarked on its journey, the ship stood as a testament to the rapid evolution of container shipping over the past 2 decades. The Ever Given, with its immense capacity, dwarfs the vessels of yesteryear, highlighting the industry's relentless pursuit of efficiency and scale. In the not-so-distant past, container ships were mere minnows compared to the leviathans that now traverse our oceans. The growth in ship sizes has been nothing short of staggering. In just 20 years, the maximum capacity of container ships has more than tripled. Vessels that once carried a modest 5,000 TEUs, 20-foot equivalent units, are now overshadowed by megaships capable of transporting upwards of 20,000 TEUs. This explosive growth in ship sizes has been driven by a simple economic principle: economies of scale. Larger ships allow for more containers to be transported per journey, reducing the cost per unit. It's a compelling proposition for shipping companies as they can lower their operating costs and offer more competitive rates to their customers. But this relentless pursuit of efficiency and cost savings has not come without its challenges. As ships have grown larger, so too have the risks associated with their operation. The Ever Given, with its staggering dimensions of 400 meters in length and 59 meters in width, epitomizes the potential pitfalls of this supersizing trend. The sheer size of these megaships makes them more difficult to maneuver, especially in confined spaces like ports and canals. They require deeper channels, longer berths, and more powerful tugboats to guide them safely to shore. When things go wrong, as they did with the Ever Given in the Suez Canal, the consequences can be catastrophic. Yet, despite these challenges, the trend towards larger ships shows no signs of abating. Shipping companies continue to order ever larger vessels, banking on the promise of greater efficiency and lower costs. The question that remains is whether this relentless pursuit of scale is sustainable in the long run, or whether we are setting ourselves up for more high-profile incidents like the Ever Given's ill-fated Suez sojourn. The Ever Given, with its staggering capacity of over 20,000 TEUs, is not an anomaly in today's shipping industry. It's part of a broader trend towards larger container ships that has been gaining momentum over the past few decades. This trend is driven by a simple economic principle: economies of scale. Larger ships like the Ever Given allow shipping companies to transport more containers per journey, reducing the cost per unit. It's a compelling proposition as it enables these companies to lower their operating costs and offer more competitive rates to their customers. The savings can be substantial. For every doubling of a ship's capacity, the cost per container falls by about 20%. But the move towards larger ships isn't just about individual vessels, it's also about the consolidation of the shipping industry as a whole. In the past, the industry was fragmented with numerous small and medium-sized players. Today, however, the landscape is dominated by a handful of giant corporations, each operating vast fleets of megaships. This consolidation has been driven by the same quest for economies of scale that has fueled the growth in ship sizes. By merging and acquiring smaller competitors, these corporations can spread their fixed costs over a larger number of ships and containers, further reducing their operating costs. However, the benefits of larger ships and industry consolidation come with significant challenges. Mega ships like the Ever Given require massive investments in port infrastructure to accommodate their size. They need deeper channels, longer berths, and more powerful cranes to load and unload their cargo efficiently. Many ports, especially those in developing countries, struggle to keep up with these requirements. They lack the financial resources and technical expertise to upgrade their facilities to handle these behemoths of the seas. As a result, megaships often face delays and congestion when they arrive at these ports, eroding some of the efficiency gains they were meant to deliver. But the shipping industry isn't just relying on larger ships and consolidation to drive down costs, it's also turning to technological innovations to optimize its operations. One of the most significant of these innovations is the practice of slow steaming. Slow steaming involves operating ships at slower speeds to save fuel and reduce operating costs. By reducing a ship's speed by just a few knots, shipping companies can cut their fuel consumption by up to 30%. Given that fuel is one of the biggest expenses for these companies, the savings can be enormous. The practice of slow steaming gained widespread adoption in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis when global trade plummeted and shipping companies were desperate to cut costs. But even as global trade has rebounded, slow steaming has remained a staple of the industry thanks to its cost-saving potential. But slow steaming isn't the only technological innovation reshaping the shipping industry. Ports, too, are embracing new technologies to streamline their operations. Automated cranes and guided vehicles are increasingly being deployed to load and unload ships, reducing the need for human labor. And these automated systems can work around the clock without the need for breaks or shift changes. They can also operate with greater precision and consistency than their human counterparts, reducing the risk of accidents and cargo damage. Yet, for all these technological advancements, the shipping industry remains vulnerable to disruption. The Ever Given's blockage of the Suez Canal in March 2021 was a stark reminder of this. Despite all the progress in ship design and port operations, a single incident can still bring global trade to a standstill. The vulnerability of the global shipping industry was laid bare on March 23, 2021, when the Ever Given, a 20,000 TEU container ship, ran aground in the Suez Canal. This incident, which lasted for 6 days, caused a massive disruption in global trade, highlighting the fragility of our interconnected world. The Suez Canal is one of the world's busiest shipping routes, connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea and providing the shortest maritime route between Asia and Europe. Around 12% of global trade passes through this narrow waterway, including a significant portion of the world's oil supply. When the Ever Given became wedged across the canal, it blocked all traffic in both directions. Hundreds of ships were left stranded, unable to continue their journeys. As the days ticked by, the backlog grew, with estimates suggesting that each day of blockage was holding up trade valued at over $9 billion. The economic repercussions of the incident were far-reaching. Many companies already strained by the COVID-19 pandemic faced further disruption to their supply chains. Manufacturers reliant on just-in-time delivery of components were particularly hard hit, with some forced to halt production due to lack of parts. The incident also had a significant impact on consumers. The blockage led to shortages of certain goods and increased prices for others. The price of oil, for example, spiked by 6% in the immediate aftermath of the incident as traders worried about potential supply disruptions. But beyond the immediate economic impact, the Ever Given incident highlighted the operational challenges faced by the shipping industry in an era of megaships. Navigating these behemoths through narrow waterways like the Suez Canal is a complex and risky operation, and the incident has raised questions about whether the industry's push towards ever larger ships has reached its limits. While these megaships offer significant economies of scale, they also come with increased risks. A single incident like the Ever Given grounding can have cascading effects on global trade. The Ever Given incident has led to a renewed focus on supply chain resilience. Companies are reassessing their strategies, looking for ways to build more flexibility and redundancy into their operations. Some are considering diversifying their supplier base, while others are looking at increasing their inventory levels. But building resilience comes at a cost. Holding more inventory ties up working capital, while diversifying suppliers can lead to higher procurement costs. Companies will need to find the right balance between efficiency and resilience based on their specific circumstances and risk tolerances. For the shipping industry itself, the incident has highlighted the need for better contingency planning and risk management. While the industry has made significant strides in terms of safety and efficiency over the years, the Ever Given incident shows that there is still work to be done. Ultimately, the Ever Given incident serves as a reminder of the complex web of dependencies that underpin our modern global economy. In an era of just-in-time manufacturing and global supply chains, a single disruption can ripple out and affect businesses and consumers around the world. The lessons of the Ever Given incident extend far beyond the shipping industry itself. They strike at the heart of our globalized economy, which has been built on the foundation of efficient, low-cost transportation of goods around the world. Consider for a moment the journey of a typical consumer electronic device like a smartphone. The various components that make up that device, the display, the battery, the microchips, are likely to have been manufactured in different countries, often on different continents. They may have been shipped from South Korea, China, Taiwan, or Japan before being assembled into a final product in yet another location. Once assembled, that smartphone will be shipped again, this time to distribution centers and retailers around the world. It may travel by container ship from Asia to the west coast of the United States before being loaded onto a train or truck for the final leg of its journey to a store shelf or a customer's doorstep. This complex global dance of goods is made possible by the efficiency and cost-effectiveness of the shipping industry. The cost of shipping a single smartphone from a factory in Asia to a customer in the United States is a tiny fraction of the device's overall price. It's this low cost of transportation that has allowed companies to build global supply chains and take advantage of the efficiencies of specialization and scale in different parts of the world. But as the Ever Given incident demonstrates, this system is also fragile. A disruption in one part of the chain can quickly ripple out and affect the whole. When the Ever Given blocked the Suez Canal, it wasn't just the goods on those ships that were delayed. It was also all the downstream production that depended on those goods arriving on time. For many businesses, the incident has been a wake-up call. It has highlighted the risks of relying too heavily on any single route or mode of transportation. As a result, we are seeing a new focus on building resilience and flexibility into global supply chains. One strategy is to diversify shipping routes. Companies are looking at alternative paths to get their goods to market, whether that's using different canals or ports or even shifting to air freight for high-value or time-sensitive goods. By having multiple options available, they can reduce the impact of any single disruption. Another strategy is to invest in infrastructure and capacity. The surge in demand for goods during the COVID-19 pandemic has put a strain on ports and shipping networks around the world. Ships are facing longer wait times to load and unload, leading to delays and higher costs. In response, some ports are investing in automation and digitization to increase their efficiency and throughput. They're also looking at ways to expand their physical capacity, such as by building new berths or storage facilities. Shipping companies, too, are investing in new ships and technologies to improve their operations. Some are experimenting with alternative fuels like liquefied natural gas to reduce their environmental impact and prepare for a low-carbon future. Others are using data analytics and artificial intelligence to optimize their routes and schedules. But even as the industry adapts and evolves, the fundamental drivers of globalization remain in place. The economic benefits of specialization and trade are as compelling as ever, and the demand for global transportation is only likely to grow in the coming years. What the Ever Given incident has shown us, however, is that this growth must be managed carefully. We need to build resilience and flexibility into our global supply chains so that they can withstand the inevitable disruptions and shocks that will come. As we've seen, the shipping industry is facing a complex set of challenges. The push for ever larger ships and the pursuit of efficiency have left the industry vulnerable to disruptions, as the Ever Given incident starkly illustrated. At the same time, the industry is grappling with the need to adapt to a changing world, one where sustainability and resilience are increasingly important. Moving forward, we can expect to see continued innovation and adaptation in the industry. One area of focus will likely be on technology. Autonomous ships, for example, are already being developed and tested. These ships, which can operate with minimal human intervention, have the potential to improve safety and efficiency while also reducing costs. Another area of innovation will be in the development of greener technologies. The shipping industry is a significant contributor to global greenhouse gas emissions, and there is growing pressure on the industry to reduce its environmental impact. This could involve the use of alternative fuels such as hydrogen or ammonia, as well as the adoption of more efficient ship designs and operational practices. But technology alone won't be enough. The industry will also need to work on building greater resilience into its operations. This could involve diversifying shipping routes, investing in infrastructure, and improving coordination and collaboration across the supply chain. Ultimately, the future of the shipping industry will depend on its ability to adapt to a changing world. It will require a willingness to innovate, to invest in new technologies and practices, and to work collaboratively to address the challenges ahead. For all of us, as consumers and as citizens, the shipping industry is something we rely on every day, often without even realizing it. The goods we buy, the food we eat, the energy that powers our homes and businesses, so much of it depends on the smooth functioning of global shipping networks. As such, it's important that we stay informed about the industry and its impact on our lives and on the planet. We need to be aware of the challenges it faces and to support efforts to build a more sustainable, resilient, and equitable global trading system. The story of the Ever Given is a reminder of just how interconnected our world is and how much we depend on the hidden infrastructure that keeps it running. It's a story that will continue to unfold in the years ahead as the shipping industry navigates the complex waters of the 21st century.